the Deshaun Watson situation is still ongoing. But the NFL to argue what the suspension should be. According to the new CBA, the NFL and NFLPA appointed Sue L. Robertson who is a judge, to make a recommendation for the suspension. Roger Goodell has the ability to go higher or lower. Now, unlikely he goes lower. But if, say, Judge Robertson gives a 6-game suspension and Goodell says, nope, we're going to make it 12. Or, no, we're going to make it a year. Which could happen. I also heard the rumor that this could be like the Trevor Bauer suspension of, we suspend him a year, potentially 2. Who knows? It's ongoing as we speak. That would be a little bit of a shocking one, but I could definitely see it happen. Colts safety, and I'm sorry if I mispronounced his name, Harad Willis, is retiring. Willis, 26, played in the NFL for 3 years. He, according to what he said on his Instagram, he is retiring to pursue a spiritual journey. And I don't know exactly if it's as a minister role or as a priest role. He never specified, but he said it would be a spiritual journey and one that he hoped a lot of people would follow him on. It's a little bit of a shocker, but at the age of 26, we have another young retiree in the NFL this year. The Patriots signed wide receiver Lil Jordan Humphrey, who was with the Saints for the past 3 years. At Saints minicamp, Marcus Davenport told the media he had part of his pinky finger on his left hand amputated. This past off-season, the injury had bothered him since college. Now, this is not, like, we've seen this before, but it's just, I've never heard of it because of an actual injury that has bothered you for your entire career. That one is a shocker to me. And as long as he doesn't, as it doesn't slow down his production, I don't see the problem. The Patriots signed former Chiefs offensive lineman Darrell Williams 3 days after the Chiefs cut him. You need offensive line help after you traded Shaq Mason away. You don't know if Colton Strange is your long-term guard. See how this works. New York Giants linebacker Justin Hilliard suspended 2 games for violating the PED policy. Again, a shorter sentence, probably because this was his first offense. We'll see how it happens and what happens moving forward. Eagles signed former 49ers safety Jaquez Tart on a 1-year contract. Brings a lot of veteran experience, a lot of understanding. It will be a little bit for him to adapt to the system, because you play a West Coast system and now you're changing over from a guy who only did West Coast stuff to now he's going to do something else. It's a little bit of an adjustment. But Tart is a smart player. He's going to bring a lot of knowledge to that safety room, and he's going to help out some of those Philadelphia Eagles safeties. And finally, because I wanted to bring this up, this past week was the 52nd anniversary of the death of Brian Piccolo. Piccolo, who had passed away at the age of 26 from cancer. Now, why do I bring this up? Not just was it a big thing, but at mandatory minicamp, every player, and I was told even including some of the coaches, wore a little decal on their shirt, but all the players wore the number 41 on their jerseys in honor of Brian Piccolo. If you want to know more about the Brian Piccolo whole life, of the relationship between Piccolo and Gale Sayers, I encourage you to watch the movie Brian Song. But there's a lot of things that is not discussed in Brian Song that I actually had to look up. And I looked it up, and it was a story about George Halas. George Halas, when Brian Piccolo was dying, paid for all the cancer treatments, paid for the medical bills. When Piccolo had passed, Halas paid for the funeral expenses, gave Piccolo's children trusts that for their college tuition. Even when Piccolo's wife was about to lose her house, he paid the bank. It's an incredible story of the life of Brian Piccolo and his relationship with Gale Sayers. And what Piccolo said in the movie, and then after documentaries about before he passed, he said he did things for people not because he wanted people to always tell him, okay, now I owe you something. He said it because he enjoyed doing it. And I think if we can find one person in our life that enjoys doing that, the world will be a much, much better place.